Greetings, all you samurai out there. I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, and I'm coming at you yet again with another Samurai 8 chapter review. This time it's chapter 17, titled Kotsuga and Ryu, as we're introduced to two brand new characters. I also love this cover page because it shows An cooking her usually weirdly delicious gunk, which I kind of want to try it just a little bit. Just because it's just like, I really do wonder how that tastes. It's got me interested, but considering how it normally looks, I'm not surprised that a few people aren't too keen on it for the most part. Now, we see that Hachimaru is still actually kind of not up to snuff after the whole, galaxy blade he did. It still looks a little bit like skin and bones, whereas An is at the very least trying to, cheer him up, trying to get him back up to strength, as he wants a lot of different foods in order to help him rejuvenate himself for the most part. Unfortunately, An doesn't know how to cook any of that stuff, but at least she's trying. It shows that at the very least, An really cares enough about Hachimaru to at least give it that old college try. Meanwhile, it's time for Daruma and Hachimaru to have a little bit of a sit down. As, Hachimaru, ties his head up because his key is still sticking out of his head, which is still a weird thing to see. But, Daruma explains that the best way to find allies and other keys in order to open up that box is the way they'll do it is because Hachimaru has a strong aura, and it'll draw the other keys to him naturally and honestly. And, that's the way that Daruma actually found Hachimaru, as well as Ata, because of his innermost aura. And it's also, Dharma also talks about uploading the Varishka license to his key. That way he'll be able to easily understand those various styles and abilities of their respective schools and all of that good stuff. We also talk about the fact that, Hachimaru's abilities will kind of be able to find everyone kind of like stars on a map. They'll be naturally drawn to each other. And with that connection, they'll be able to open the boxes and do all that other various different stuff. It's a whole bunch of explanations that really still go over my head. But we also learn about that connection which allows them to transform their bodies, these things called H-particles, which are apparently sound a really lot like metachlorians, honestly speaking. But that's what allows them to form their armor, heal from wounds, all that various good stuff. And using the key, they're able to connect and gain even greater power because of that and what have you. So, it just kind of really sounds like Wi-Fi, all things considered. But these connections are what will help Hachimaru to grow strong. It's helped him find his princess, get a strong key holder, but it also attract enemies because of that as well. His whole purpose is to try to light up certain goals and become the protector of planets and all that various good stuff. There's a whole bunch of gobbledygook that I'm really not just taking in. It's too much information yet again. Like, Exposition Dump 2.0, or honestly 16.0 with all the explanations we've gotten to this point. And while Hachimaru is all too ready to, get on that, finding new keys, saving the galaxy, defeating Ada and all that good stuff. We also find that Ikaku, Hachimaru's brother, has, started to track him and has noted that he seems to be on the move. As he tells Ada about the fact that they seem to be searching things out, And we have to be careful because Dharma is our enemy, as he's told by Kala, his, no, not Neri, his princess, but, Ada ends up being contacted by Lord Kala, the head of that rival school of Dharmas and all that good stuff. But, apparently Kala wants to actually go and find Hachimaru and Dharma in person with, the big bad coming down from on high in order to stir up some trouble. So Ada has his massive key holder set out in order to find Hachimaru. Meanwhile, our cast of misfits finds a spaceport, and while they're docked and away, we find these two rogues, Kotsuga and Ryu, who happen upon Dharma's giant keyholder ship, with Kotsuga having set his eyes on stealing that because a holder would probably be very, valuable if they sell it on another planet. And we also come to find that Ryu seems to have, very, very short-term memory. He can't seem to even remember anything that's said to him within the span of a few seconds. So, naturally, that means he has to be someone fairly prominent in the world, or else he wouldn't, come on, memory loss, shonen story, he's gotta be someone really important. Meanwhile, it's obvious that Ryu is the muscle where Kotsuga is, in fact, the brains of the operation, and I use that term very loosely. Dharma is off at a bar sitting around just kind of chilling out, while An is off shopping with Hayataro. And then they're approached by this unknown figure in all black, only for it to be revealed that it's Hachimaru in some pretty sweet clothes. He's got these goggles that flip forward and all this. He really looks pretty badass. Honestly, he looks like more of a ninja than Naruto ever did, but An is also quite taken with his appearance as well, getting very flustered by the way that how cool he looks. Although she says, it's not what's outside that matters, but what's inside, to hide how taken she is with all of that. We also see that Hachimaru is still unable to keep his key inside of his head, whereas if he doesn't tie up his hair, its key just pops out again. And while Dharma's chilling at the bar getting ready to pay, he apparently he gets notification from his key holder that intruders have entered his key holder, basically. This terminology is getting really confusing to throw around. I'm hoping that at one point it'll get more natural for me to say some of this, like saying chakra or jutsu and all that, not batting an eye, but that'll take some time. But, Dharma ends up doing a kind of a bit of a dine and dash, running out of the bar with the bartender just yelling at him to pay. He sees the entrance that the two made, where it very much looks like the dude just cut into his key holder, which Dharma's actually a little bit surprised by. Meanwhile, after Hachimaru and Anne are walking back, and Hachimaru explains to Anne that he wanted to kind of transform his body as well, to represent the new him for the most part, so that maybe he could actually be a little bit cool. He also got a little something for Anne as well, so they're warming up to each other for the most part. Meanwhile, Dharma has cornered the two intruders, and as they're kind of getting ready to do battle, we still have that weird comedy routine going on between Kotsuga and Ryu, where everything that Kotsuga says to Ryu is just basically flowing through his ears like water. He's just not retaining anything. And Kotsuga is just like, kill the kid, kill him so we can steal his stuff. Only for Hachimaru and Hayataro to arrive back on the scene, getting ready to do fight as well. And Kotsuga is interested in Anne, is like, ooh, cute girl. So basically kind of feels like Yamcha, or even damn it, why am I forgetting his name? Fang over Fang, Kiba, there we go, Kiba. Like an amalgamation of Kiba and Yamcha. Although that's not saying much, because Kiba and Yamcha were basically the same character to a certain degree, but, you know, Kotsuga 6 Ryu on the rest of them, saying, you know, kill everyone except the girl, and, you know, Kotsuga gets ready, Ryu gets ready to take out his samurai soul and his bone hilt. And it's kind of weird that he doesn't have a holder or a princess. To a certain degree, I kind of thought maybe Kotsuga was the princess, because Kotsuga has these weirdly long eyelashes. Kotsuga really kind of gives off the vibe of a little bit of femininity, honestly speaking. And I was kind of hoping that Kotsuga would be a female samurai. I'm still waiting on a female samurai. I'm sorry, but, you know, I'm still waiting for that moment. But Kishimoto, you're letting me down on all fronts in terms of getting me some good female combative representation. I'm all for girls being support and all that, but I want a female at the forefront of this, just out there kicking ass, doing her thing. You know, I need strong female, strong women, but, you know, good enough. Some new mooks have shown up. They'll probably be good allies into the future, although, you know, I thought that was going to be Nanashi as well, but that proved not to have happened, so we'll have to see how that goes down. But some fun enough characters. I'm digging the new style that Hachimaru has going. You know, it looks pretty cool. I really am digging it, so I hope he keeps this style well into the future. But, you know, we'll see how these guys fare against our cast of main characters. But, yeah, that's it. Until next time, hey, just tell me in the comments below, how do you feel about these new characters? Do you think they will be long-standing allies, or will they just be a couple of one-offs? So they'll stick around for the new story arc, and then they'll be, you know, out like the wind. You know, but again, thoughts, theories, comment section below. If you like this video, leave me a like. If you didn't, feel free to leave me a dislike and tell me what I did wrong in the comment section below so I better myself for future videos. Subscribe and hit the bell icon, that way you don't miss out on another future Samurai 8 chapter review. And if you want to find me on social media, just Google Duuz-Diz-Din. I'm everywhere, for better or for worse. And until next time, just remember that, well, unlikely allies and unlikely enemies will sometimes find their way into your path. It's all about connections, baby. Till next time, bye-bye.